Okay, Randy, here's a question for tonight's pub quiz. Which comedian made the most appearances on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson?
Well, I sort of peeked at the answer sheet. It's this legendary master of observational comedy who was a guest on the show a record 158 times.
But in their hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, everything's named after Benjamin Franklin. Look, you go over to Benjamin Franklin Bridge, out to Benjamin Franklin Parkway, past the Benjamin Franklin Motel. You can't miss it. It's shaped like a giant kite with a string and a key.
I'm Steve McClellan.
And I'm Randy Hodgins, and that was Philadelphia's own David Brenner, a true pioneer of observational comedy. Born in 1936 to Jewish parents, Brenner graduated from Temple University and initially became a writer, director, and producer of TV documentaries, winning 30 awards, including an Emmy.
Disillusioned with his career path, Brenner took a stab at stand-up comedy, doing his first paid gig at the Improv in New York City in 1969. Tall and skinny, with a toothy grin and nasal delivery, Brenner's act caught on in other Greenwich Village clubs, and he made a memorable debut on The Tonight Show in 1971.
In addition to his frequent appearances on The Tonight Show, often as a guest host, Brenner also appeared on Ed Sullivan, Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, and David Letterman, and in many top Las Vegas nightclubs. His friend and fellow comic Richard Lewis once referred to Brenner as the king of hip observational comedy. Here's a prime example from the Midnight Special in 1975.
I knew we were in trouble before anyone when I saw a wing go by my window with no plane on it. The plane blew a tire when we landed, and the plane skidded. And when it finally came to a stop, everyone applauded. And I thought, what would they do if we crashed? Boo?
In 1983, Brenner released his first and only comedy album, Excuse Me, Are You Reading That Paper?, and 3 years later hosted his own syndicated talk show called Nightlife, although that program lasted only 1 year.
Brenner remained a ubiquitous presence on television, popping up on game shows and talk shows well into his early 70s. Despite a tumultuous personal life, including failed marriages and child custody battles, he also continued to perform regularly as a stand-up comic.
So how about this pedestrian who's suing a tourist in New York because the pedestrian's walking down Broadway and this tourist leans out a 6th floor hotel room window and he pees on this guy's head. And no matter where the guy went, the guy kept hitting him in the head. So the police go up there and they arrest him. Arrest him? They should have given him a medal. Most men can't stay inside the ball.
The author of 5 books, Brenner retained his sense of humor to the very end, according to the New York Times. In his final request, he asked that $100 in small bills be placed in his left sock, just in case tipping is recommended where I'm going.
You can find out more about David Brenner and all our comedy legends, including video clips and extended audio cuts at laughtracksradio.com. Thanks for listening, and until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. Goodbye, everybody.